Hi everyone, it's Simon here with a review of Project Starship. This is a procedurally generated shoot-'em-up that's available on PlayStation 4, as you see on your screen, Nintendo Switch, but originally came out on PC a couple of years ago. Now, the PC version has quite a high following and positive reviews that I can see everywhere, so I was really excited when I was offered a copy of the PlayStation 4 version for review. However, I don't know if there's a quality control issue, but the PS4 version was really struggling with being able to actually run on my console at all and kept running into slowdown all the time, and it really marred my experience with the game. The game itself is playable with two different characters, although they handle identically, and an easy mode and a hard mode. And then it will procedurally generate about 5 stages for you to then get through and get to the end boss and win the game. Depending on easy mode or hard mode, you might have difference in mileage of how far you can actually get on the game itself before you die. Everything is big and garish, as you can see on this video review, and that includes all of the bullets, it includes all of the enemies, and it also includes yourself, and you fill up the screen quite quickly, and especially when you start collecting power-ups and levelling up your weapons as you go along, you can quite easily blast your way through about a third of the screen with just your bullets alone and not really see what's coming at you, and you just need to move out of the way. The game focuses on the very centre of your spaceship for its collision detection and you actually losing lives. And once you understand that, then it makes manoeuvring around all of these really huge bullets much easier to understand and manage, and the game much more enjoyable as a result. Now, whilst the game is very short, it has tons and tons of replayability. When I first completed the game, and I kind of went, oh, is that it? And I was over I'd done it within like the first 10 minutes, once I'd kind of got used to the garish graphics and the size of everything on the screen. I thought, oh, how procedural is it? So I went and tried it again and had completely different bosses, completely different enemies. Whilst the arrangement of stages were the same, everything else was completely different. So I was like, it really is procedural. I'll go again, and had a completely different set of things all over again. So actually, in terms of how much is in this game, I genuinely don't know, because it really does switch up quite dramatically what you're getting. And that includes having way more than 5 bosses, lots of different variations on types of enemies, but also how they attack you and continue on their flight paths around you changes dramatically with each playthrough. And I really appreciate that, because for a shoot-'em-up game that can be completed under 10 minutes, you need that constant comeback. And if it's not going for a high score challenge, which you can't do on this game, it's just really you win. At least there's tons to come back for. The issues that I had with the game were mainly due to slowdown, and it seemed to be at complete random. Now, it did say that there is a slowdown button on the controller, but it didn't seem to react to anything that I was doing in the game itself, and the game was just slowing down at random times all the time. It didn't seem to matter if there was loads of enemies on screen. It didn't seem to matter if there was no enemies on screen. But it really, really struggled with the stage where you've got various suns coming at you and it's blaring out fire everywhere. And it just couldn't cope, particularly because where that's normally stage 3 or 4, it's you're already like fully tanked up with an absolute crazy ton amount of missiles and bullets. And there's plenty coming at you as well. So it's like the game is overwhelmed and it just can't keep up with itself. So the game slows to a crawl. That kind of helps you sometimes with being able to understand where your trajectory is going to go and to avoid some of the bullets. But it's a real shame that it hinders your experience. The other thing that seemed to happen, and I still don't really know if this is an actual feature of the game or a bug, but I was having enemies get stuck at the bottom of the screen, and like meteors getting stuck at the bottom of the screen, and then other enemies would get caught up around it, and it would be shielding some of the fire that was coming across to the screen on me. So it actually really helped until it came to boss battles, in which case I needed to try and manoeuvre myself around some of the stuck enemies that I couldn't shoot because it wouldn't acknowledge it. But then where other enemies were getting caught up everywhere, it was just becoming a cluttered mess, and it meant that I only had like 2/3 of the play area to actually really use. That's happened several times on several different playthroughs. If it's a feature, it's weird and it makes no sense whatsoever. If it's a bug, it needs fixing. The positive side, though, that I can say, aside from it being heavily procedurally generated and constantly offering something new, is it's got a pretty damn amazing happy soundtrack that I'd like to have been able to have listened to outside of the game itself. So if it's available to download, I will find it at some point, probably be hiding on Bandcamp somewhere or something. And that's very much a positive for the game. But yeah, I feel like this is a patch or two away from really showing its true potential. It's got a lot of love on PC, but I have to say the PS4 version is really lacking in polish, detail, and full of bugs. So yeah, if you've got the opportunity and you do want to look at this, perhaps look at the PC version first. I have seen that there is Project Starship X coming out later this year, and it looks like a real step up in terms of graphics and finesse. So never know, there might be a double duo coming out in the future too. Thank you very much for the developer for sending across a copy for a review. I hope that in future that there is a patch that can fix out some of these bugs, because there is a good game to be found in here somewhere, just not on the PS4 version in its current format. There will be a written review of this over on higherplanegames.com, and if you've got any questions, please do leave them below. Cheers for watching. Bye for now. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.